So just like they've done before, they're only parking every other space. They are parking cars front to back, but there are spaces in between each of the vehicles. So there's lots of room for you to get out, lots of room in the parking deck. Oh, they got lots of lanes open for security. This is pretty good.
Out for Apple Pay and Google Wallet to help you practice safe social distancing while paying for your goods and services. While you're eating and drinking your beverages, so we'll give you a pass just for that.
So the gates are open, but man, look at this. This is a complete wraparound situation here. Everyone's having to come in, find their area. Lines are going all the way down, wrapped around to the Universal Studios globe and back, just to make it back to the entrance of Islands of Adventure. This is our turnaround point to get into Islands of Adventure. Now we make our way back. It's moving, and I think we're back in the park. We're back in. Look up on the bridge. We got ourselves a Kung Fu Panda. All right, so while you're inside Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, you gotta have your face mask on. That is, of course, unless you check out the U-Rest area. This is pretty cool. This is a place, if you need to come, have a little oxygen, be safe, practice social distancing, but you can remove your mask and breathe a little bit. Of course, if you can remove your mask. A little bit of oxygen. Great place to rest. Thank you, Universal. So it looks like they still have the freestyle machines available. They've, like in this particular area here on Superhero Island, they actually have the middle machine is closed off so that you have some distance. But they're providing wipes so you can wipe down the screens. And team members are also coming around and making sure that they're wiped down and sanitized every so often as well. Camp Jurassic, very interactive area. Looks like they've had it closed off. Earlier this week when they had the team members come in for an employee only, they were running on flyers. But it's just too interactive, too hands-on. It may not be open for a bit. All right, we're seeing our first track at our new Jurassic World roller coaster. Now, we don't really know what the name of this thing is yet, I don't believe. A lot of people are speculating that it's gonna be called the Velocicoaster. Now, this is a new addition to the area, the Raptor Encounter. Even though we've been able to see Blue before, this is the first time we've seen it in this particular setup. So, I don't know if Blue's going to be meeting guests here today, but if so, we'll come back to say hello to her. So across the bridge, it comes over to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. You can see more of the track that's been laid for the new Jurassic World coaster. So it's showing a 5-minute wait for Hogwarts ride, but they're making most people stand outside. They're not only letting so many people in at a time at the moment. So far, the entire queue here, Flight of the Hippogriff. Short 5-minute wait, and they do have the social distancing markers and the cows on the ground all the way through the entire queue. But notice, they are not using the inside queue lines that they normally would. So they have reconfigured the queues in such a way that people aren't standing directly beside one another.
One frozen. Two frozen.
I'm usually not a big fan of butterscotch.
Three frozen, and here's your receipt back. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, so they do have social distancing tags inside the river journey as well. But people are asking, well, how long are the lines? I think we're going right up to the loading dock.
Sorry.
Oh, we have a brief delay.
I mean, we're right in a common line where we go throughout the park, so.
So we're distanced out, so it's not too bad. The idea now is just to get back to actually moving, right? So far, every ride that we've ridden, they've given us hand sanitizer before we get on the ride, and then there's hand sanitizer waiting for us as we get off the ride. So, sanitized on, sanitized off.
This far.
So Spider-Man is out to meet and greet guests today. But Spider-Man's web is pretty strong and go really far. So guests are asked to stand a little bit far away from us so they don't get any spider web in their hair. But they can still get a cool Spider-Man picture today at Universal Islands of Adventure. All right, so Spider-Man was back there. You can see they do have characters out there for you to meet and greet. But they're usually and most likely going to be up on stages or behind barriers. There will be some stickers and decals to show you where to stand. Here's the thing though, you need to realize, if you want to get a picture, you cannot hand your camera to a team member.
No,
team members will not be able to have your camera. So if you're going to take pictures, make sure you have a friend and you share it.
Or practice your
Or just do selfies.
skills.
Like if you run into somebody you know, you can just give Dev the phone. He can take a picture.
That's right.
Magic?
But team members can't. Team members can't. How's it going, man?
How do you feel about riding the Hulk while wearing a mask?
I don't know. Have you done it yet?
No, but I've seen it.
How does it look?
Pretty funny.
I think I'm going to trade this one in for a paper mask like that before I try that.
You know what I was thinking about ordering a face shield? Because you can breathe if you're wearing a face shield.
Yeah, but what about that? What about that air turbulence? Do you think it's just going to whip it right up your head?
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
the air catch underneath
I'm
it.
waiting for I'm waiting for that first lawsuit of I got hit with a face mask on Hulk.
How do you feel about everything? I feel like everything has been going great and smooth and organized.
Everything's been going well. The only time we've had a big problem was they had a crane go across Toon Lagoon Bridge, and they cut off traffic.
Oh, really? For the crane?
When the crane for the coaster,
Right.
when they opened the crane line back open,
Uh-huh.
massive people.
It was a little scary.
So it can happen, but you know,
Right.
everyone's got their mask on. Everyone's been doing good. So you been having a good
fun.
day?
Great day. Even better now that I see you
Oh,
guys.
I'm glad to see you, man. Good to see you. Getting a few more views of the new coaster track. I think it's going to be massive when it's done. But it's so exciting to watch a new coaster being built. All right, so at this point we are going to try something. We're being told that we can go out of Islands of Adventure and use the same ticket passes that we used to get in this morning to walk over the Universal Studios and try it out there over there. So we're going to see if that works. And normally we would take the Hogwarts Express in between each, It's a 45-minute wait right now for the Hogwarts Express. It will take us approximately 15 minutes to get out of one park and walk over to the other. Save ourselves half an hour because right now we do not have the express option that we normally have. So here we go. Okay, so what we're attempting to do now is we have the paper tickets, we have reservations for the day. We're going over from Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios. Here's the deal. This is for pass holder preview days. They've given out all of the reservations for the day already. They already know who's coming, who's not coming. That's set. Once the parks open on the 5th, I don't know if I would recommend going outside of the park to switch parks, because at that point you will be actually taking away from capacity and they may let somebody else in. So not recommended. I would double check it before you try to switch parks. Take the Hogwarts Express after general public is opened up. All right, well, a quick word, guys, about Universal Express. Here's the deal. If you've already stayed in one of the hotels in which Universal Express is complimentary with your resort stay, you're good. But here's the deal. If you have not already purchased Universal Express right now with your package, it is not available for purchase. And that's for an indeterminate amount of time. They're waiting to see how things go as they open up the park.
Yep.
So we're waiting to see, as Premier Pass holders, whether or not we're going to be able to use Express after 4 o'clock, which is one of the benefits of our pass. We don't know. We'll find out later today. But we do let you know that if you're coming the 5th, 6th, and 7th and say, you know what, with the lines as they are, maybe I want to buy an Express.
Not
Please,
going to be available to you.
not going to be available at the moment. So just keep that in mind with your,
But if
with your
you're
planning.
staying at the Royal Pacific or Hard Rock Hotel, you get unlimited Express Pass from the day you check in until the day you check out, and it is complimentary.
So we always tell our clients when they're coming to Universal, think about going to one of the next level up of hotels, because it comes complimentary, and sometimes that's a much better deal than having to stay at another hotel and then adding this.
Yes.
Get it when it's complimentary.
Yep.
All right, so we made it in the Universal Studios, and before we have lunch, she wants to protect the Allspark. So I guess we're gonna go check out giant robots, and as Donkey says, that, you know, gets a little scared when it gets, you know, wind and rain and stuff. So, but let's go protect the Allspark at all costs. So here over in Transformers, again, they have the queue set up, good distance set up between each party. And so the line may look long, but keep in mind there's a good amount of distance between each party.
To the lack restraint at all times.
All right, so the 3D glasses are now being closed off.
Extraction team, this is Optimus Prime. Why are the to the
3.
Alright, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Future of both our species will be decided by what happens with you.
You guys are going to be row 1 all the way down.
Row 1, thank you.
So many things on my head.
Okay, guys. Important little bit of information. Try to give you guys some stuff that's going to be relevant and useful. I want you to watch carefully. You see my glasses? When I breathe heavily, they fog up. That's usually only a problem with people who wear glasses. Well, guess what? If you're riding Transformers, you're wearing 3D glasses. If you guys can't keep your breath down, like us at the very beginning of the ride, you won't be able to see anything. The first 2 screens of the ride were completely fogged up. Couldn't see what was going on. I've ridden the ride hundreds of times. I knew what to expect, but if this is your first time, hold your breath or you're gonna miss a few things. So for the Transformers ride, it was listed as a 35-minute wait. We walked in the front door and immediately was stopped at the back of the line. We thought, well, this could be a while. But again, because every party's got 6 feet in between them, the line was long but it was short. We did not wait nearly 35 minutes to get on, and it was closer to maybe 10. All right, so we were supposed to be hanging out for a little bit here in Universal Studios. Had a pretty good lunch over at Finnegan's. Then I went and did something silly, messed it all up. I'm sorry, I have to apologize. I went onto the Universal app and got a virtual queue spot for right now to ride Hagrid's. So now we gotta find a way to get back over to Islands of Adventure in time to ride the best new ride here. So, can we make it? Don't know. It says it's a 45-minute wait right now for the Hogwarts Express. So we'll see. If not, we have to jump out and run around. But we'll do what we have to do to get on those motorbikes. All right, so we're gonna see if we can make a little magic happen. I'm a little nervous. They say it's about a 30-minute wait. And each party gets their own cabin on the Hogwarts Express. We only have about a 30-minute window to get over to Hagrid's. So I'm hoping it's going to go a little bit better, a little bit faster than what they're forecasting. Yes, we are going to need a little magic.
Run straight at the wall.
I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic. I'm hoping we're going to be able to make this happen. Thank you, Lauren. Now, what did you say was one of the advantages of social distancing?
You get your own private cabin on the Hogwarts Express.
Yes,
No
and you
kidding.
get your own trolley treats too.
No, sadly not.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to get within 6 feet to get them. For some reason, they just can't pass.
It's okay. I didn't bring any galleons anyway.
Neither did I.
So, I'm so stoked at the fact we were able to grab a virtual line reservation for Hagrid's. So I don't really know what the wait's gonna be. Team member at the beginning of the line said that with the virtual, I think standby is around 15 minutes at the moment. 15-minute wait for Hagrid's is perfectly fine. But we tried all morning to grab one of these, and we've been told they don't put all of them out at the beginning of the day. They release them throughout the day. So if you don't get one in the morning, go back and check it in every so often. But don't do like me. Don't leave your Universal app open, because it's been draining my battery all day long. So far, we haven't even hit a line yet. We have walked almost the first half of this entire queue, and it hasn't stopped. Not to say we're gonna hit a corner that will change. Jack and egg, anybody? Jack and egg, Jack and egg? Okay. You can do it for a horn tail. Still going. Oh, we are still going.
Where did other people go?
Not sure the blast-ended screws go for it, but that's right now.
Still going. Are we gonna hit our queue? Oh. Boom! We finally hit our
One
queue.
room.
The last room, right before the last room. That's not a long wait at all.
And it's a long way with 6 feet between each party.
We're still going. We haven't been able to stop yet. If only it was this easy moving forward.
We did see Pixies, Scroots, and unicorns. Oh, and I'd be grateful if you didn't mention any of this to anyone back at Hogwarts. See you next lesson.
All right, so we got into the virtual queue, walked in. We didn't really hit a line to the very last room and rarely stopped then. It took longer to walk through the queue than it took to get on the ride. They're loading people either front to the station or back to their queue. So all the odd numbers are, everyone's asked to stand up toward the gate. All the even numbers have to stand toward the back. So therefore everyone is staggered and social distancing has been achieved. So we took a little detour over to the Islands of Adventure just to ride Hagrid's. I think it was worth it. Another bit of advice, if you guys want to take it, travel light. Maybe not bring his bags if you don't have to. Reason being, this line right here that goes all the way down and around, that is a line just to get a locker for the Escape for Gringotts. It's not even the queue line. So if you don't have to get a locker, you get to jump ahead of all that line. To answer one of the questions we've been wondering about, and this may only be through the, something we're wondering about through the pass holders. Will the Premier passes allow us to have Express Pass after 4 o'clock? Yes, after 4 o'clock, we walked right into Gringotts. Now, they didn't have the express lane open. They put us through the single rider line, which means it was even quicker, faster. We were on the line, we were on the ride like way quick.
3 minutes.
Like crazy quick. So,
But there is no single rider right now.
no, there is no single rider lines at all. So they just let us use the much shorter line, and I think I enjoyed that. That was nice. We got on there really, really fast. So I told you guys earlier about the experience on Transformers 3D when I rode and I had the 3D glasses. Susan doesn't ride Transformers, but she does ride Escape from Gringotts, which we just did.
Yes.
And she got to wear her 3D glasses.
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
That is not fun to ride with a mask and 3D glasses because your 3D glasses fog up and then you can't see the screen.
It's rough. At the very back of Universal Studios, they have another U-Rest area, similar to what we saw over at Islands of Adventure. Great space to jump in, take a break. Its capacity is limited. Sit down, take your mask off, take a breather before you get back out in the pub and play. This is a great area. Say one of the biggest things that you're not having to deal with, I should say pre-virus, are getting lockers. It's actually the locker lines are longer than sometimes the ride lines themselves. So, like I said, travel light. Do yourself a favor if you can. All right, so we've been here since right at 9 o'clock this morning. And while the crowds were a little heavy earlier today, it's now 4:30. And the crowds have really dispersed a lot. Matter of fact, we've gotten on the last two rides just literally walking on. All right, another U-Rest area over here at Central Park. Hey guys, we are loving the U-Rest areas. This is a great idea. We love it. All right, so for our last ride of the day, it's E.T., the air conditioning. It's air conditioning, the ride.
She saved the best for last.
There you go.
We love E.T. the Adventure. E.T. cool off. So this is one of the stages that the characters will be coming out at Universal Orlando. Over at Universal Studios, characters will come out. There will be spaces out here, decals on the ground, allowing guests to know where they can stand. You can turn around and do a social distance selfie. We can still see the characters just a little farther away. We just wanted to take a look at the face coverings. Do you guys have all the designs, or?
We have the Annual Passholder ones, but we only have size large left.
Okay.
And then we have this one. This one we have in medium and large.
Medium and large.
In City Walk, they have more options than we do.
So we had a good day. I say we come back again tomorrow.
Yes.
And the day after that.
Let's do.
Because guess what? We can.
Yes.
All right, we're back in the car. I need a verbal yes. Who had a good time today?
Yeah, me, yes.
I think it's pretty much yeses across the board. It's different. Yes, we had to wear masks. We still had a good time. I'm honestly, after being away from the park so much, I was just grateful to be there. And I think we made a good day of it.